Salvete omnes. Welcome back to the AP Latin live stream. Welcome back to prep week and welcome to your second practice exam. How exciting has that been?
I mean, I'm sure they're on pins and needles ready for
Yes.
this. Let's get is it okay if I get the PowerPoint up so we can get into
Yeah,
this?
I'll go ahead and tell them, although I'm pretty sure they know it, that I'm Jenny Luongo. I teach at St. Andrew's Episcopal School in Austin, Texas. I'm here with my colleague.
Ben Johnson, I teach at Hamden Academy in Hamden, Maine.
Eh,
And,
Go ahead.
I didn't have anything to say.
Okay, good. All right. So as I mentioned, this is prep week for the 2020 AP exams. So we're going to do our second practice exam of the week. If you missed Monday's practice, you can go back in the same folder where you're going to find practice for this exam. And you can take that. Tuesday's live stream was the answers. So you can go through and do that if you want to. We're going to be doing another exam today. And we just want to remind you that we believe that these exams are representative of the types of tasks you're going to be asked to do on the 2020 AP exam. And while we've tried to prepare questions that are similar in structure and format, we can't guarantee that these are representative of the content of the exam. And certainly we expect that the passages are going to be different and that sort of thing. So you shouldn't assume that these are the passages for this year's exam for certain.
You should never assume, right?
No. All right. So as I mentioned, Monday and Tuesday are gone. Today's Wednesday, second practice test day. Then on Thursday, tomorrow, we will go through the answers to the practice test, talk about, some pitfalls, give you some tips for the exam. And Friday, the closer we get to Friday, the more excited I get. How about you, Ben?
I mean, yeah, I'm like a Rolling Stone, right?
Right. Exactly. So on Friday, our friend, Dr. Jenny Moss, who is the chief reader for the AP Latin exam, is going to be here. We're going to get to ask her some questions. She's got some last minute tips for you all. And then I think we're going to let her play a game with the students.
Dr. Moss is great, and she will be great fun too. So I mean, it's one of those situations where the chief reader is a great person, has a great personality, and it will be fun for us to talk to and for you guys to listen to. And we can get a little bit more insight into just the general idea of the AP Latin exam and stuff like that. So I'm excited for this. I'm anticipating we'll have some great questions for her. And maybe put her on the spot, see how she squirms. I don't know.
Yeah. No,
I hope she's not watching right now.
Very excited.
So, okay, so for tonight's practice exam, it's going to be the same format as we did on Monday. But for those of you who maybe didn't tune in on Monday, we're going to go through everything again, just to make sure that everyone's on the same page. So the questions are in this URL here. It's tinyurl.com/AP Latin sample questions. What we did in order to make sure that you don't accidentally pick Monday's questions is I put Monday's questions in a folder that's titled with the date of Monday. So the questions for today are right in that folder 5.6.20 because that's today's date, Q1 and Q2. Download them right now, but don't look at them, right? Because you want them to be on your computer or device so that you can look at it when the time comes. But since this is a practice exam, you really want to feel the time pressure. And that's why we're going to be on live here counting down so that you have that chance of making sure that you can practice with these time limits and feel like how it feels like to go through 9 questions for the Virgil and Caesar syllabus passage and seven questions for the site passage in the time limit that you'll have next week. During the official AP exam, you should use the extra 5 minutes. So the timer will count down from 30 for the Q1 down to 5 minutes, and we'll call time at that point. And at that point begins your 5-minute upload period. And that's why it says 25 plus 5 minutes. You should really plan on using this extra 5 minutes to upload your responses, because if you fail to upload your responses after and that time runs out, then you can't retake the test or anything like that. And then same thing for Q2, it's 15 minutes plus a 5-minute upload period. So we'll call time before the 5-minute upload period really it begins and when it starts, and then we'll move on to the rest of the stuff. We are not, oh,
I was just gonna say no uploading anywhere today. We don't
yeah.
have that available for practice. So that's why we're just gonna kind of breeze through that period because you won't actually have to upload your answers today.
Right. So, and hopefully we've been talking long enough so that you can get your questions and also maybe get your how you're going to respond. So we'll go over the ways that you can upload your responses and answer these questions next week. So you'll want to get a piece of paper out or a word processing document to write on, whether it's like a Google Doc or a Word or Pages document, or even like your Notes app. That's fine. Just something for you to type in, or a piece of paper and pen or pencil for you to write things down. And on tomorrow's live stream, we'll go over the answers. So be sure to save your responses until then. That's usually a great live stream to tune into because we go over the questions and the answers and maybe some things that might have tripped you up, maybe some stuff that like you might think about, and that's just as important as tonight's practice. So how
All
are
right.
they gonna upload?
So
Jen?
there are lots of different ways. If you want to copy and paste a typed response, then you are going to use your laptop or your desktop computer. And you'll probably want to set up side-by-side windows where you can see test questions on one side, and then you've got your word processor, whether it's a Google Doc or Microsoft Word or Notes, whatever, on the other side. It's really important. We talked about this before, but I don't think we can emphasize it enough. It's really important that you guys turn off your autocorrect so that the Latin words that you type don't get auto-corrected if you are using this type of setup. Okay.
Right. Also, I think you're supposed to disable any other extensions like Grammarly too, and because those extensions aren't good. I don't know why, but I've seen that posted. And yeah, there's one other thing we were supposed to. Oh, yeah, we'll talk about it in a second. Go.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think we're good on this one unless you have more to add.
No. So the other thing you can do is you can attach that document. So instead of copying and pasting, you can attach it and then click submit. So you'll save the document in a .doc, .docx, .pdf, .txt, or .odt file. Only those files. So if you're using a Mac and you're using Pages, you have to export it to something other than .pages, which is the normal default. So you can export it as a .doc file rather easily, or even a PDF. And so make sure that your AP ID and initials are at the top of the response. That's something that's really important. And then when you have that 5 minutes remaining, then you attach your response and then click submit. And since we have 2 questions here, this is really important. You have to create, save, and attach and submit 2 separate documents. So you're going to create a document for Q1, which is the Virgil and Caesar syllabus passages, and save that and export it or whatever. And then and you're going to upload that. And then you're going to do the same for the Q2 when that time period is up. So you'll be uploading at different times for those. You'll have to do the Q1 upload and attach an upload at the end of that first session, that first like 25, 30 minutes. So, and they recommend doing side-by-side windows for this too.
And you know what, Ben? One thing I read somewhere said that Google Chrome was the preferred browser. So they are saying that you can use Chrome, Firefox, Safari, or Edge. But if you have the ability to get Google Chrome in advance, then that might be a good idea.
Internet Explorer is not, I don't think, supported.
No,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
one that you can use.
Right.
Don't try it. Okay, so another way that you can submit your answers is by taking photos of a handwritten response. If you're doing this, then you're going to be using your smartphone or your tablet to view the questions. You'll still have to write your APID, initials, and page number at the top of each page. You'll have a maximum of 5 pages or 5 photos available because you have to do 1 page per photo if you're using this method. It's very important that you note that the acceptable file formats are .png or a JPG or JPEG, because some iPhones will take pictures with the extension .heic, and those will not be acceptable. So you'll need to turn off that kind of, I think it's for the live photos on newer iPhones. So you'll want to make sure that you take care of that in advance, because again, that 5-minute upload period is going to go quickly.
And you would do the same where you would take a picture of your Q1 and then upload that. And then when you would take a different picture of your Q2 and upload that.
Right. And it's going to be essential if you do this method that you write with a dark pen or pencil,
Mhm.
because if you take your photos and answers don't show up, then obviously they can't be graded. So
Yeah.
that's
One
really
of my students did this in practicing on Monday. And yeah, it was, I could read it, but you just want to make sure you can see shadows, and I could see instances where it would be illegible because just the photo had shadows, and you know, you want to make sure that you do everything that you can so that the readers can read your responses and give you as many points as possible. So when you do all of this stuff and submit your response, it's a two-step process. So you attach or copy paste, and then you'll click the button that says submit. Okay, and you can see examples of that on the right-hand side. If you don't click submit before the timer runs out, it doesn't count. So you really want to make sure that you click submit well before the timer runs out. Like, this isn't something where you want to play games with here. You want to make sure that you get everything in and submitted on time. And so when you click submit, your response may continue to transfer depending on the bandwidth, and that's fine. But if it continues to transfer after the exam ends, wait for that on-screen message. And this is kind of important, that says your AP exam is complete. And when you see that, then you can do a little happy dance, because then that means that your AP exam is complete. So
If for some reason you don't get that message, you should go to cb.org/request makeup to explain the situation, and you're going to have to retest in June. So
yeah,
as Ben said, really important to get it uploaded. Okay.
right, right.
All
Okay,
right.
so
So hopefully they downloaded their test. They've got their practice exam ready, because it's time. We better get going.
okay, you ready for me to push the button? Is everyone ready? Hopefully at home.
Yes, hopefully they're ready.
Okay, here we go.
All right, so hopefully you've got your exam. We've pressed the start time. Don't forget, this is the one that we recommend that you spend 10 minutes on the Virgil syllabus, 10 minutes on the Caesar syllabus, and 5 minutes to check your answer. We'll check in and give you 5-minute and 1-minute warnings at the end of the period. Good luck, everybody. You have about 5 minutes remaining in this part of your work period. You have 1 minute remaining for question 1. Okay, that is time for question one. So now is when your upload period would begin. And again, we strongly recommend that you not work into the upload period, that you stop now and that you upload whatever you have, because even if you left one or two questions blank, it's better than submitting nothing in the end. Also, we just wanted to let you know that both Ben and I thought that this particular practice would have really pressed you for time. There were a lot of questions that asked you to do two different things, and don't let that stress you out. We definitely are trying to prep you guys to be prepared for what you're going to see on the exam. And I think maybe you might have had more tasks on today's practice exam than you will on the final exam or on Tuesday's actual exam. But as I tell my students, we want to build up your stamina for answering lots of questions. So don't be stressed. All right.
It's like, right, it's like when you're training for a big race. You'll run these workouts that make you go faster than you actually will run in your race, so that the speed that you want to actually hit in your race is comfortable to you. So
Yeah, absolutely.
that could be a good metaphor.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great way to think of this as training for a race. All right, so we are going to ask if you already downloaded sample question 2 for today, that you download it again, or alternately, they can just ignore the first part of the question 4 on. Is
Yeah,
that
I
right?
mean, yeah, I think the best thing to do is just go to tinyurl.com/AP, what is it, AP Latin
Sample questions.
sample questions, and just
Mhm.
get Q2 again. Um,
Yeah, so we'll give you a minute to do that. If you, like I said, if you've already downloaded it, you don't want to do that, whatever, then we're just going to ask that you ignore the beginning of question 4. Again, we're just trying not to freak anyone out, and we decided that we didn't actually want to ask that. Okay.
okay,
All
I,
right.
I I think we're ready. So let's go to the next one. If you're not quite ready, one of the benefits of this live stream is that you can pause it.
Yeah, if you're still having trouble getting your download, pause it, but we're going to keep going.
Okay, here we go. This is the sample question 2. And let's start. So you have 15 minutes to complete this, and we'll come on with 5 minutes to go before the upload period, and then with 1 minute to go before the upload period. Okay, you have about 5 minutes left in the answer period for the site question 2. Okay, you have about 1 minute remaining according to this timer, but some of you might have noticed that the timer stopped working for about a minute. So this is essentially your 15 minutes for sample question 2, but we'll give you an extra minute just to finish up. Okay, so that is technically, I guess, 15 minutes according to the timer. We gave you an extra minute just because we like you guys, and the timer stopped around the 13-minute mark. So that's you can consider that 16 minutes. Like we didn't want to call time in case you were looking at that timer to see how much time you had left. But now this would be the time where you would be copying your answers over or taking pictures and uploading it. So that 5-minute period. So we gave you 16 minutes. That's perfectly fine, I think.
That's how
So,
nice we are. We're
yeah, I
so
know.
nice to them. All right. So we should probably go on and start wrapping things up. They finished their second practice exam.
I think
How
so.
exciting for them.
Always exciting on the AP Latin live stream. So this is a new slide. This is different than what we presented you with right afterwards on Monday. And so I think that you guys should go to cb.org/AB 2020 get ready. And it gives you 5 steps. And we went there today with one of my Latin classes to check it out. And it's exceptionally useful. And it's one of those things that it will help you remove some of the anxiety around taking the test. Like, do you have everything ready? Have you tried the exam demo? Have you completed the exam day checklist? Have you confirmed your email address? Now, I think that the deadline for doing that is tomorrow, Thursday. So make sure you go there as soon as possible so that you can make sure everything is all set. So those top 3 things are things that you can do right now. 4 is locate your e-ticket, which will be emailed to you 2 days, I think, before the AP exam. And then check in 30 minutes early, which would be at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time, 10:30 Central. Don't ask me what time it is in Hawaii, though. I think
Yeah,
it's like
sorry.
5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, sorry about those of you who aren't in the contiguous United States. So just a reminder that the College Board has prepared a lot of really helpful links where you can go through all sorts of information about the 2020 AP exam. So make use of these, screenshot this, and just work your way through them. All right, I think that's just about all for today. We will go over the answers tomorrow. As we said, we thought today's practice was designed to be a little more challenging for you guys, a little more time pressure. So congratulations, you made it through, and we'll work through the examples tomorrow.
Always fun. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Well,
Valente.